right, welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is SPRAWL. SPRAWL is a hardcore retro FPS set in an endless cyberpunk megapolis. Escape the walled city and take on the militarized government of the SPRAWL. Fueled by the blood of your enemies and a mysterious voice in your head, make your way towards the spire to topple whatever lies within. So, of note, we actually interviewed the developer of SPRAWL just a few months ago at time of recording. And if you want to learn more about the development of the game, be sure to go into the archives and check that out. But in the meantime, this game was assigned to our, resident FPS enthusiast, Petty Fan, for review.
Game go shooty shooty bang bang.
Well, obviously.
They usually do.
So beyond that, what can you tell us?
This game is very akin to something like, I believe it's Ghost Runner?
Yes.
Parkour.
Yeah, I do believe Ghost Runner came up in the interview.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's a lot. You still can take hits. It's not specifically like Ghost Runner where one hit and you're dead. Though you also don't have a whole lot of health. And I don't recall any kind of health pickups, but you can turn on God mode, modify the amount of damage you take or receive, stuff like that.
Right.
As far as this game is kind of interesting in the way you get health pickups, because you only get them if you headshot kill an enemy, or do close range shotgun blasts or melee kill. So if you're just spraying and praying into their chest with your pistol, you're not going to get a whole lot of ammo compared to, taking skilled shots at their head. So that is kind of fun. They basically rewarding more skillful gameplay. There is the wall running parkour mechanic. It's kind of kludgy in my opinion, but you have a set arc you run on the wall. You can only stop. You can't adjust your arc at all. So you get, I believe, 2 jumps off the wall, and you can use it to get to a lot of higher places. The levels do require some form of parkour mastery. So if running and gunning like this is a problem for you, this game might not be suited to you. This game is kind of hard. It does have a checkpoint system. Let me see if I can look at one of the earlier levels. I know the screen looks a little washed out, but that's because I like a little more brightness. Because this game, especially in the first 2 levels, is very dark to the point where you almost can't see enemies. So if you like that aesthetic, then this will be fine. but I like it a little brighter because I think my screen is a little on the dark side. Something I should mention is the codec system, because we did kind of bring that up because it's just QR codes in the world that you can actually scan and read the codex entries on your, phone, tablet, whatever can scan QR codes. And well, that's kind of interesting, like, mechanically. I'm glad they added an in-game codex, because if someone didn't have a mobile device, or worse, say, because the link goes to an actual live website. So if something were to happen to the company in, X amount of years, all the lore of the game would be gone. Or worse, if a malicious actor took over that website, then all of a sudden, bad things could happen to players of the game just by accessing that site. So it is good they gave you a codex, and it's all the same stuff that you would get like if you scanned it with your phone. And yeah, here we're going into the wall running. You do kind of stick to the wall, but like you can't, like I can't go up the wall, only like jump up it. I can't like wall run up or wall run down. It's only in an arc, and I can keep my wall run gun going by bouncing between walls. Oh, and as I fail that one. There is if you right click, it does adrenaline, which is your bullet time. It will also show like if there's like live power lines or something that, objects of interest, it will mark them. Unfortunately, the only way to refill your adrenaline is pickups in the environment, mostly dropped by enemies. But yeah, here's one of the QR codes. You could actually scan that with your phone and bring up the lore thing on there, or it's just been added to my just lore sheet on here, which that's kind of cool. I didn't like the side lore stuff. Is if you're into cyberpunk stuff, it'll be more interesting to you. Not like cyberpunk as a genre, not cyberpunk the franchise. I know we have to differentiate that now.
It's amazing how specific you can get with these punks.
I am aware.
What?
And then, like, I just found Switch, and, like, if I hit the adrenaline thing, if I wasn't sure to follow that power line, hitting the adrenaline button will make the power line more visible. I also have a dash. I gain a little bit of speed with the dash, but it slows down to the point of no boost when you release. But if you do a hop, you keep that momentum until you hit the ground for a few frames. So, of course, there is speedrun tech involved. And yeah, there is very much a, cyber aesthetic. They mentioned cyberware, but this isn't affiliated with the cyberpunk franchise, just a part of the cyberpunk genre.
Mm.
And yeah, here we go into sliding, and now melee combat. Melee is usually bound to the F key because I have a gaming mouse, I actually prefer it on one of my special buttons to make it faster.
Yeah, sometimes I do that with my thumb buttons,
Yeah.
my mouse.
I mean, if you got them, use them, right? And
I
then
do try.
once you get weaponry, you can use adrenaline to see where the weak spot is on an enemy. So in that case, it was the head. Most enemies, their weak spot is typically their head for obvious reasons. But there are some enemies, like jump pack soldiers, who use like rocket pack. If you shoot them in the rocket pack, it explodes and does AoE damage to enemies around them.
It's something like a superfluous power. It's the most obvious weak spot.
I mean,
Like, okay,
for the head, yeah, but like, it is kind of interesting bringing up, like, you can shoot the jetpack. Some games don't tell you that shooting the jetpack will do damage.
Yeah, those games are wrong.
Like, you can, this is actually going into other weak points here.
Right.
Where you go around, you shoot it in the back, and then it go boom. And then, yeah. Oh, I didn't get fast enough from the back, but yeah. Bullet time, it also slows you down, so you're not going, like, supersonic. These dog things don't actually have a weak point. So there is that. Like, you can kind of shoot him in the eye thing, but I don't think it does any extra damage. And then you just kind of parkour, bounce up these walls. And like, at least in the first block of levels I've done, I think I'm almost done with the first chapter. There are, I guess, appropriately oppressive for, again, cyberpunk. If that makes sense.
I think it does. Like, can you even have a cyberpunk thing that's not oppressive?
Technically, yes, but you're very much wrong.
I can't think of a cyberpunk dealie that doesn't have that element.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the most punkish of the punks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like steampunk. You don't get the over oppressive totalitarian society.
There is a bit of oppression, but there's more whimsy in steampunk than.
Let me finish.
Okay.
You get that, but they're like a faction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you can't do that kind of thing with boiled pots of water.
Technically, in steampunk, the oppressiveness would probably be colonialism.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
But that's not like really shown in the architecture. Like, if you look at like plaid brick buildings with advertising on there and lots of industrial look, you can definitely tell this is a city that you probably don't want to live in.
True. I mean, aesthetically, if we're this would be more atomic punk or maybe diesel punk. You know, it's a lot more brown than what you get in cyberpunk usually.
Well, it does open up a little bit, like color palette wise, a little later. This is just the first, you know, kind of welcome to Night City kid.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, honestly, I find it a bit refreshing because, you know, brown should be something that pops up in cyberpunk more because, you know, cities are very brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's usually dark and rainy.
Well, it's dark and rainy because they want to show off the neon, but it's also more black and gray, you know, rather than brown.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I know why this looks brown. It's because invoking Quake and Doom, but mostly Quake, which was
Yeah.
brown as fuck.
And sometimes you can get the enemies to do dumb stuff like jump off of a ledge.
Uh-huh.
Kind of hilarious. And yeah, I haven't found, like, you can get more guns. Like, later on this level, I will get an SMG, and then the last, like, power-up I got was a shotgun. Let me see if I can find the other weapons. There's a shotgun, SMG, minigun, railgun, and rocket launcher. So
Seems like a standard id selection there.
very much so. I wanted to switch to the shotgun, and then I realized, oh, wait a minute, I don't have it right here in the first level.
Oops.
I prefer my shotguns a little faster, but the one in this game is very, very slow.
Ugh.
Yeah. Like, it's still useful and very powerful, but it's definitely, you're using it as a surprise instead of as a main combat weapon, if that makes sense.
I think it does.
And I think it has higher stun potential, which again makes sense.
Well, that stopping power.
Yeah. And then I haven't noticed any like range damage fall off, and I believe these are hit scan guns. At least the pistol is. I think the shotgun is actual projectile, and I think the SMG is hit scan. And I haven't gotten to the other weapons, but I vaguely remember the shotgun being an actual projectile that comes out, not, hit scan shenanigans. Which, again, it was going to be treated as a power weapon. I get that,
Well, it's also, you can do projectiles for everything and anything these days.
Yeah. And yeah,
Anyway.
if you could kind of see that, like, momentary frame, I did kind of make the dog jump to its death, so that was, AI fuckery is fun. Music is okay, but there's a little too much, like, chanting for my personal liking.
Chanting?
It sounds like they have, like, a choir in here. Like, they
I'm not sure I'm not sure I would like that for a game like this.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Like, that's the kind of thing I expect out of a JRPG.
Yeah.
Hitting that double Latin choir.
Yup. But yeah, like, it's not awful. I don't think I would, like, grab the music outside of the game. But,
maybe if this game were more like Blood, you had a lot more cultists.
Yeah.
That'd work.
Like, there are some, like, cyber cultists.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's not enough to warrant bringing out the Latin choir.
Right.
And then... Get back. Damn it. Oh, God.
Oop.
Give me it back. Give me that back, damn it.
Uh-oh. Our reviewer is getting sucked into the game.
Yeah, it happens. And boom goes the dynamite.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's what happens when you hit other weak spots. And then I died. Alright, yeah. All in all, the game's fine. The game has decently responsive controls. I wish that by default they toned down the weapon bob a little bit more, but that's just because it kind of makes me a little motion sick. So that's just a me thing. It doesn't affect the aim of the weapon, at least. It's purely visual. I did have some issues, like not really understanding where to go. But that's just kind of how games of this style was.
Yeah, like, this game looks like that's intentional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, any questions or comments from you guys?
I mean, nothing further.
I think I'm good.
All right, yeah. All in all, the game is fine. What are we looking at price-wise?
Good news! This game will cost you a perilous warp.
I'm sorry, what?
I was not sure if you were going to get that or not.
No, you kind of cut out. I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, you dropped out for a second.
Oh, weird. Good news. This game will cost you a perilous warp.
Perilous
which is
warp?
$15.
Mm. For 15, let's see. There's 3 episodes. I don't know if they are all out. Let me look on the page. I know there is episode 1 out. And I don't know if the other ones are currently in development or not.
Well, it's not saying it's an early access game.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if all 3 episodes are in there, rock on, have fun. If you're just getting the 1 episode, 15 might be a little steep. If that makes sense, you know. It does have controller support for, you know, the people who have that preference. I obviously didn't try it because I've played FPSs way too long on PC. And yeah, I think that's it from me.
All right, then. So that'll about do it for this review. Be sure to tune in after the break as we get Galaxy's impressions of Battle Wizard Attack.